Hello, my lovelies. This is Paisley Wilde, and hey, I'm adventuring off into the spaces between. I think I did it even. All the things, all at the same time. Woody woot. Maybe. Sometimes it all works, sometimes it just doesn't. And as you know, results may vary because, yes, we'll just leave it at that. So, I hope you guys are having just a fantastic Monday because, well, it's Monday, right? Yes, it's Monday. You never know. Mondays can be adventurous, right? And or sometimes it's afternoon, evening. Yeah, it's Monday. Yeah, I don't know how else to put it. It's just it's Monday. And wow, I'm not normally this cheerful or bright in the background, but I am like in high def on my screen, and it's like, goodness gracious, I should have more makeup on or something. Goodness. Anyways, we'll just leave it at that. Um, So last time I talked about grief, and I mentioned that I wanted to talk about dragonflies this time around. So yes, that is exactly what we're doing, and because there's a lot of symbolism with dragonflies, and I thought it was just well, the dragonflies are always they're kind of mystical in nature in general, and it's across several different cultures, if you will, that dragonflies are mystical or considered mystical. Hmm. Yes, there's things in transition behind me, so just don't look behind me. Okay. So with the mystical nature of dragonflies, um, they are often considered in many to be, or by many to be, messengers or visitors or signs from the other side, if you will. And I have to tell you, I tend to agree. I just do. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk about dragonflies. Um, and it's not just within, local American type cultural beliefs. It is within, uh, you know, multiple belief sets. Um, and it's why does it come across as transformative? Well, a dragonfly begins its life beneath the surface, and so stop, time out. Let me go. Story time. So I was a chaperone for my granddaughter's water adventure trip this past spring, and we went to a local water habitat beach area in one of the local parks, and we got to go around to these different stations where they were showing us different things that could happen in the environment, the habitat, the watershed, which is the watershed is where everything where the water is and how it goes down into the ecosystem and such. And it's really cool. It's fascinating. And one of the stations, they had these totes with water, and the kids had not microscopes, but like magnifying glasses, and you could actually see the little different bugs and stuff, and it was really really cool to see all of the different bugs and how they were um, the how they were growing. There was not just bugs because there were, but there was also things like crawdads and frogs and all of the different little bugs and or all sorts of different little uh, life forms that could be growing in the water. And it was fascinating. And one of the things that was in there was um, the like dragonfly larva, because they start off as larvae because they begin their life and beneath the surface of the water, hidden actually in still water, and then later it emerges into the light and it transforms into this really beautiful thing. This the dragonfly itself with the wings, and they fly around, and it's just they're just really really cool, right? And and just so cool. And they um, are often seen as symbols of courage or change, illusion, renewal, etc. And so a lot of things regarding grief, for example, follow a similar path. They start below the surface where our emotions reside. And I wish I hadn't zoomed my camera in quite so much, because you should be able to see my hand gestures, because our emotions reside within us, right? And and they're deep, deep down, and they slowly rise to the surface, and we slowly start to understand those emotions and how they make us feel. And um, and and it often takes a while for that to happen. That sensation of 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 recovering from that loss, recovering from that grief, and it does. It takes a while. Berg, I'm not happy with my camera. I'm gonna have to be. I have to move things around again. Well, I'm not done. As you can see, things are in transition in the background. Speaking of transition, so yes, symbolism, and so with the the dragonfly, you know, where you know ultimately, I brought it up during a grief podcast, right? Because I wanted to mention it specifically because it does bring um, comfort during times of loss, or when people have that sensation of loss and they're going through a time of grief. And so the the um, the baby dragonfly is called a nymph, by the way, and it lives, underneath the water, unseen. And then when it rises to the surface, it sheds that pupa stage or that nymph stage, and it transforms into this beautiful creature, right? And so the grieving process is also transformative, and you're shedding those inner emotions at some point, that sense of grief, that sense of loss, if you will, that's lying underneath. And passage can go from that sense to the beyond, or also as for those who are left behind, and for those who have already passed on, you can take a similar viewpoint, because people are going from when they've passed on, they're passing from this life to what's ahead or to move beyond, and love is following a similar metaphor, and it can give us the hope that even though we're grieving those that have moved on, um, there's still something of them following us, or something of them that is still here, because their love has changed form, and our love has changed form, because we still remember them, we still love them, and that our loved one's presence is still with us and is still moving with us through our days. And so, in a moment of sadness or grief, it serves to remind us that change is not an ending; it's simply a beginning, if you will. So, in in many traditions, the dragonfly does have this huge importance. So, here in the U.S., with the Native American traditions, the dragonfly is a very spiritual messenger. It guides souls from the physical world to the spiritual realm, and the appearance of a dragonfly is seen as a sign that a loved one's spirit is near. And I've also felt very similar personally. In Japan, for instance, dragonflies represent courage and renewal, and ancestors who visit during Oban. And it's a time, and the Abotan Festival is a time to honor those who have passed, which is just a ceremony, if you will. And then in Celtic folklore, dragonflies are seen as a traveler who goes between worlds, and the dragonfly's delicate wings represent the thin veil between life and death. Now, for those of you who have seen multiple dragonflies, there's many, many colors. There's green and red and blue and purple and all sorts of different things. Red ones are often thought to resemble love, and it speaks to the hearts and the bonds that remain. Also, transformation through grief, that endings and beginnings are the same. And often many think that the red dragonfly means that a loved one has just dropped by to say hello, which is kind of cool. Um, and then the blue dragonfly is often associated with peace, clarity, and truth. And like uh, like you should take a calming breath, like slower breathing, like meditation, very meditative, with honesty and insight, because often when we stop and slow down and just breathe a little bit, it gives us a chance to see that clarity, that spiritual truth that we often don't see, often because we're so busy doing the things that we just don't see everything else. And it's also often a visual representation of water and sky, um, or flow and freedom, because both water and sky are this never-ending flow, and and to remind us to go where the light leads us. So, but it also dragonflies also show up symbolically in many of our experiences, if you will. Um, so, and because they are kind of ethereal and they show up a lot, right? And so if you see one in your dreams, for instance, excuse me, it may be a sign of growth and enlightenment. And so, if you're dreaming of dragonflies, perhaps it is time for you to really pay attention to some of those specifics and the details of your dream, because it may shed some signs or light, and shed light on signs and such that you've got some changes coming and you need to pay attention. Write those down in your dream diary, without a doubt. Sometimes a dragonfly is shown as a spiritual symbol, which is really huge, right? Because it's just shown a sign of spiritual growth, of enlightenment, and it's often a metaphor that your soul is growing towards enlightenment, um, and is also associated with water and the moon and other energies that are associated with water and the moon. Now, even though you wouldn't think it, because the dragonfly is so delicate looking, right? It's also a power animal. Um, and it represents agility and grace and adaptability, because it does transform from this water swimming stage to this flying stage, right? Excuse me. So, if the dragonfly is your power animal, for instance, you're often someone who can move quickly through life's challenges. And you may be able to adapt to new situations or difficult situations with ease. Now, in religions, for instance, and it's across multiple religions and spiritual paths, not just the pagan ones. So, just so in Christianity, for instance, the dragonfly is often associated with Jesus and the resurrection, um, because of that transformative nature. In Hinduism, the dragonfly is associated with the goddess Saraswati, who's the goddess of knowledge, music, and arts. So, um, it's one of those. So the dragonfly, just like many other animals and creatures throughout nature, are associated with multiple spiritual paths. So, it's one of my frustrations with gatekeeping, is because there, we cannot just claim one specific animal or or excuse me, one specific spiritual path or tradition can claim all of this animal is, oh, belongs to this one path. No, they are often associated with multiple paths or multiple traditions, and we need to respect that. Now, let's see. In Native American culture here in the US, dragonflies are seen as symbolic of water because often they are not seen in areas where there is no water because they must have the water to go through the stages of their life, right? And so, like the Navajo tribe, believe that dragonflies bring water and that their presence indicates the arrival of the rainy season. Um, they also see dragonflies as protectors of water and will often use their images in ceremonies that are looking to pray for rain or to call for rain from the divine. So in Japan, dragonflies are called kachimushi, which means a victory insect. Because and since they're near water, because in on Earth we need water to survive, um, so they're a lucky bug. Um, and since they're depicted near water, it's a sign of good luck because hey, we all need water, right? So in Japanese culture, dragonflies are associated with both the emperor and the samurai warriors. They're also believed to be the souls of the dead, and often depicted in art and literature as messengers between the living and the dead. So here in the U.S., we have a very complicated relationship with death, as in we run away from it. We absolutely abhor death. We fear it. We fear. Yeah, we fear death. I don't understand why people run from it as much as they can. I'm not saying we should venerate death necessarily, but absolutely, it's a fear thing, and it's frustrating because in other cultures around the world, you know, death is a thing. It's a fact of life. None of us get out of this situation alive. So instead of running away from death, perhaps we should just take a deep cleansing breath and learn how to accept it because we're all aging. It happens to every single one of us, and we're all going to die at some point. So instead of fighting against it so emphatically, perhaps we should learn how to accept it and honor it a little bit more. I'm just saying. So, just saying. It's I don't know. It's frustrating. So in Japan, the um, the dragonflies being associated with water, um, it's fantastic. I don't know. Some of the Asian cultures, they've been around for so long. They do truly honor their dead. They honor their ancestors in a way that a lot of us here in the U.S. just don't, and it's frustrating. So, dragonflies associated with water in Japan and the Japanese culture is a lot to do with their ability to fly over the water without getting wet. And that ability symbolizes the importance of remaining calm and serene, even in the face of challenges, many challenges. Because, I mean, hello, um, even when you're frustrated and you're dealing with things and life is just kind of like, um, you can't just like get bogged down by it. You got to figure out a way to get through it, right? So yeah, you just do. Um, so Swedish folklore, dragonflies are believed to have supernatural powers. They're associated with the fairy realm and are said to bring good luck and fortune to those who see them. And it is believed in Sweden that dragonflies can predict the weather. The Zuni tribe believes that dragonflies are sacred and serve as messengers of the rain gods, and they're associated with water and are believed to bring rain and fertility to the land. The Zuni also believe that dragonflies can guide the souls of the dead to the afterlife. The Romanians, or the Roma, Romanian folklore, um, Dragonflies are believed to be the souls of the dead. So they are associated with the transformation and rebirth, and they're said to bring good luck and fortune to those who see them. It is also believed that if a dragonfly lands on your head, it's a sign that you'll soon receive good news. Um, so a dragonfly can also be a sign of emotional healing because it's that transformative nature and adaptability. So, if we move on to the some spiritual meanings of dragonflies, yes, we're going to do that. Um, do, do, do. We're going to do that next. And then we're going to talk about color, and then I'll be it. So it's just kind of a short one today. Yeah, kind of. So, number one, without a doubt, is the symbol of change and transformation. Very powerful, without a doubt. Period. I mean that, and if you just sat and watched dragonflies fly across a puddle of water of any kind, they zip and they zag and they loop de loop, and um, it's just fantastic. Um, they're just they're airborne acrobats, and you know if you see one, it could be a radical metaphor, if you will, or they're a radical metamorphosis. That's the words. Can serve as a powerful metaphor as our own capacities for change. Because stop and examine yourself. For those of us that have gone through the crap, the stuff, no matter what it is, we have a 100% success rate of surviving our worst possible days. We really do. And we've had to change a little bit to survive every single one of those days, but we've done it. So just take a deep breath and remember you can do this. Shed some limitations that you've put upon yourself or society has put upon you, and remember that yes, you can. You've got this. So two here is a reminder of adaptability and lightness. The way the dragonfly flies around and does all the things. Remember to try to move through life with that same adaptability, that same grace and ease. There are times we're going to get bogged down with the crap and the stuff and the things, but sometimes we need to remember that we need to be flexible in our thinking and not rigid in our ways. And when something comes at us, are we weighing ourselves down with heaviness, um, our own personal heaviness, our own personal crap, or could we move through life with more agility? Agility. And sometimes that agility means setting down somebody else's crap because we often carry other people's crap. Seriously. Number three, a connection to the realm of illusion. So dragonflies' iridescent wings and body are not just beautiful, but they're a lesson in perception. The colors we see are not caused by a pigment, but by the way the light reflects off the surface. This unique property has linked the dragonfly to the concept of piercing through illusion. So it encourages you to look beyond the surface of situations to see the true nature of people and events and to question what is real versus what is merely a trick of light. There's a lot of things out there that we see and experience. What is real and what is just perceived as real. Look at the news around us on a given day. How much of it is real and how much of it is okay? How much of it is real news and how much of it is opinion news? Because a lot of it is just opinions. We're not getting news, we're getting opinions. And if it's just opinions, is that really news? It's not. It's just opinions. I don't want to hear about opinions. I want to hear about the news. Thank you very much. Be like a meteorologist saying, hey, well, I think it's a beautiful day today. It's going to be a beautiful day because I think it's a beautiful day. Now, that's his opinion or her opinion, not it's 4 degrees outside Fahrenheit because they think that's a beautiful day. You know, it's perception, it's opinion. I want to know it's real. That's all there is to it. Number 4, an emblem of joy and seize the day mentality. So, darting joyfully in the sunlight, the dragonfly embodies the spirit of living in the moment. Its relatively short adult life is a vibrant, active burst of energy. It serves as a carpe diem or carpe nocte, depending on your perception. Reminder to not get so lost in the past or so anxious about the future that we forget to find joy in the present. The dragonfly's message is to embrace the now, let your spirit soar, and to appreciate the simple beauty of being alive. Number 5, a messenger from the ancestral realm. In some cultures, dragonflies are seen as messengers from the spirit world, specifically from ancestors who have passed on. So a sudden visit from one, especially if it lingers or behaves unusually, can be interpreted as a sign that a loved one from the other side is watching over you, offering their protection and reassuring you that you are not alone on your path. 6, a sign of emotional maturity and depth. Beginning its life in the water, the dragonfly is deeply connected to the emotional realm, as water often symbolizes our feelings and the unconscious mind. And then its transformation into a creature of the air represents achieving emotional maturity, the ability to rise above deep-seated emotions and gain perspective, and then understand our feelings from a higher vantage point. It signifies the journey from being submerged in our emotions to understanding them with clarity. Yep. Number 7, the symbol of victory and new insight. In some tribes here in the US, the dragonfly is a symbol of victory. It's not necessarily a triumph over others, but a personal victory over the limitations of self. After its um, yes. So, Lucky or Truth Frequency News says setting your day like that with an assertion, if it is a beautiful day or it is a great day, may be an opinion, but sometimes it programs the day to be good. Oh, very true. It does. So, yes, you can start your day with that affirmation. It's going to be a great day. Absolutely. But if you're telling everybody that the weather is going to be awesome today and it's hailing outside, um, I mean, not everybody thinks hail is awesome. Um, my mom just had to file an insurance claim because it hailed so much that it dented her car. So, I mean, it's just that's where it is. I mean, the perception. But yes, telling yourself that it's going to be a great day. Yeah, that's the it's one of those positive affirmations that you should be telling yourself when you get out of bed or get up in the morning as you're doing your morning routines. Um, Absolutely do that because those are important things. Um, Kind of like drinking coffee. Actually, kind of like drinking water first thing in the morning to wake up your cells. hmm So yes. So the symbol of victory and new insight. Yes, the dragonfly being a symbol of victory. So triumph of the limitations of self. So after the aquatic phase, the dragonfly emerges victorious into the air and light. So the representation of light or new understanding breaking through after uh, a period of being in the dark signifies a breakthrough or a new idea or a sudden flash of inspiration. Inspiration is good. It can be an invitation to self-realization, which is number 8. So dragonfly's ability to move effortlessly in all directions speaks to our freedom of movement and thought. So this symbolizes the journey towards self-realization, or the exploration of all aspects of the self. It encourages you to break free from linear thinking, to explore different perspectives, and to understand the full spectrum of your own being. The dragonfly invites you to know yourself in a deeper, more holistic level. The whole meditation thing. Oh yeah, you need to stop and you know, often we get so set on our path that we're like, nope, this is what we got to do. We got to go A to B to C to D to E. And we get just so linear, so into that rut of thought that we forget all of the side quests, if you will. We forget that sometimes there's other things to do. Um, you know, stop and smell the flowers, hug the tree, go to the petting zoo. The, they're in Sheridan, Wyoming, I think it is. At least it used to be. It's been a while since I road tripped, but there's a when I was a kid, especially when we road tripped in, there's a rest area. They had this big water park area. It had like a splash pad and swimming pool area where people would pull off and just splash around and have a good time. And it was fun, it wasn't necessarily like, hey, take the kids there because we're going to go to the rest area for a vacation. No, it was like, stop, get out of the car, stretch your legs, and you know have your picnic, walk the dog, and let the kids run amok for a little bit so they can go get in the car and fall asleep because they just ran all their energy off. Because I mean, seriously, I think they've filled it in now because safety regulations and all that. But still, um, there's stop and look for the side quests. You know, there's they're out there. Sometimes you need to find them. So number 9 here is dragonflies can be a representation of power and poise. So despite, as I mentioned earlier, despite the delicate appearance, the dragonfly can be a formidable and ancient predator, and can be as one of the most effective hunters in the insect world. So the juxtaposition of beauty and power can teach a valuable lesson about true strength. It suggests that power does not have to be loud or aggressive. It can be quiet and poised and precise. So the dragon embodies the idea of balanced power, being assertive and effective while maintaining grace and elegance. Hi, Gemini. Number 10, a guide to unlocking your true potential. So the dragonfly spends most of its life as a drab underwater nymph. Honestly, they're kind of ugly looking little things. They're kind of gray blobs. Before its spectacular transformation, this long hidden period of development is a powerful metaphor for our own talents, however latent they might be. So the dragonfly's emergence reminds us that our current state is not our final form. It encourages patience within our own growth and signals that time is right to unlock the brilliance that has been developing within us, often unseen by others. Number 11, it's a call to connect with nature. So the dragonfly is a creature that thrives in healthy and clean ecosystems and is a very potent symbol of nature's balance and purity. So its presence can be a gentle nudge to reconnect with the natural world and invites you to spend more time in the outdoors and to appreciate the interconnectedness of all living things and to consider your own role in preserving the beauty and harmony of your own environment. Number 12, it can be a nudge to embrace your own uniqueness. So, no two dragonflies have the exact same iridescent patterns. Their unique shimmering colors are a celebration of individuality. So, when a dragonfly crosses your path, it can be a message to embrace your own very unique qualities. So, let your true colors shine without fear of judgment and to honor the one of a kind spirit that you are. It's a reminder that your differences are not flaws, but your greatest strengths. Focus on the power of mind and vision. So, the dragonfly has almost a 360-degree field of vision due to their big eyes, and it makes it a powerful symbol of mental clarity and expanded awareness and the ability to see through deception. So, spiritually, it encourages you to open your mind and look at situations from all angles, not just your own, but all angles, and then also to trust your intuition and insight. So, the dragonfly asks you to see the bigger picture and to broaden your perspectives. So, the dragonfly is also a sign of good luck and prosperity. So, in many parts of the world, including some Asian cultures, the dragonfly is considered a harbinger of good fortune, prosperity, and harmony. Its arrival is seen as a positive omen, promising success in new ventures and a period of peace and stability. To have one land on you is often considered an especially lucky event and a direct blessing of things to come. And number 15, finally, is a symbol of life's delicate balance. So the dragonfly epitomizes balance. It is a master of flight, a creature of both water and air, a being of both beauty and power. Its presence reminds us of the importance of finding balance in our very own lives between work and play, logic and emotion, activity and rest. And it teaches us that true freedom and power come from navigating the dualities of grace and equilibrium. So, let's see. I wanted to talk about colors just really quick because there are some colors that are kind of specific. Is that the one I want? Yes, no. Yes, yes, no, no, no. Not that one. I had the page. There we go. So, blue is clear communication, truth, and emotional depth, right? Red, passion, courage, manifestation, vitality. Green is renewal, growth, abundance, and fresh starts. Black is inner strength, deep spiritual protection, and the release of past cycles. Yellow is joy, optimism, and a playful approach to life's changes. And purple is linked to a higher awareness, spiritual growth, and intuitive wisdom. So, this past little bit, we had the 4th of July, right? And just like in many years past, we have had the 4th of July out at our local city beach, where it's really easy for us to see the fireworks, our local fireworks, which is really cool, right? And Mr. Brent is one of those that has joined us, and we all kind of group together and we have a lot of fun with Mr. Brent and his family and such. And so this year was kind of odd to not have him there. Mrs. Portal and Minion were there, and man, she makes excellent egg rolls. Let me tell you. Oh, num num num. So yes. Anyways, while we were sitting there and enjoying the sun and such, um, there was a dragonfly flying around, and it settled down and just hung out with us for a little while. Now I don't know if she saw it, but we'll probably talk about it tomorrow because it's Minion's birthday tomorrow, and yeah. So it's a green dragonfly. So the green dragonfly specifically, and it wasn't like this big, giant, iridescent, huge green. It was just a green dragonfly. So yes, Lucky. I always bring it around to food. So green dragonflies is the color of healing, which I mean that's a so seeing a green dragonfly can mean that you're healing from past hurts, and it shows you're slowly becoming whole again. It also connects you to nature, which we're at City Beach, so that kind of makes, yeah. Um, so seeing a green dragonfly can remind you to focus on growth and healing. So, and it reminds you to move forward. So yeah, we're gonna hang out with Minion tomorrow, um, and go kayaking and such. So, but yeah, green dragonflies are um, so. In Buddhism, the green dragonfly is a symbol of maturity and depth of character, and they're a symbol of emotional growth. And they remind us to stay open to change and to grow from our experiences, and to embrace our emotions and to learn from them. So, yeah. So it's hard, but yeah, it'll be a hard one. But there's a couple of us that know them, and for Minion, there's a couple of us with kiddos about that same age, so we'll go hang out and go have fun at the lake and kayak around and probably sleep really good tomorrow night after being all worn out because kayaking can be hard work, and go from there. So, yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to share the green dragonfly that I got to see on the 4th of July, and showing that, I'm pretty sure that they're healing and moving in the right way. And for those of you that donated to help with the Portal family, thank you. Thank you very much. I am going to leave that link open and available for a while, because I think it's important, especially with like Minion's birthday tomorrow. So, and some of us are doing stuff, and school's coming up, and just things. It's crazy how, even when things happen and go sideways, um, things just keep happening in life. You go to sleep, you wake up, and life continues on. So, and I think that's what, the dragonfly really symbolizes. No matter what happens, we are constantly transforming from who we were yesterday to who we will be tomorrow. And it's an ever evolving state. We're never stagnant. We're never just this one thing in one spot. And I think sometimes we need to be reminded of that. And we need to have that, we need to have that reminder that we cannot be in this rut. We cannot be this immovable lump, if you will, that sits on the couch and does nothing. We have to get out, and we have to do the things, and we have to be active, and we have to go forth and do. We have to remember to transform ourselves from who we were yesterday to who we will be tomorrow. We can never stop growing. We can never stop adventuring, excuse me. And and it's fantastic. So, Mini Me got to go floating on a river over the weekend for a birthday party for a friend of hers, and I'm a little jealous personally, just saying. But it was good for her, and now I think it's fantastic because she's learning how to be herself, and now we're just moving on to the next thing, whatever it is, and that's all we can do. So, on that note, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I wanted to talk about the dragonfly and the symbolism, and how we're always going through that transformation. And I hope that you get to see dragonflies in your day to day life. And I hope you remember to take a side quest or two and go see the things, experience life, do the stuff. Because if you don't do the stuff today, when are you going to do it? Go find a side quest. There's a place over in Washington, about 2 hours from here, where we can go dig serpentine on our very own and get these big rocks full of the serpentine mineral. And I can't wait. So that's one of my side quests for the summer. Doggone it. I'm going to do it. It might be triple digits by the time I get over there, but doggone it, I'm going to go. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. So thanks for joining me. I love you lots. And I'm trying to be on more consistently. It's just life and things. I'm trying to remember to get online. So if you have a show idea, please let me know. You can always email me at wildpaisley@gmail.com. That's WILDEPAISLEY@gmail.com. Rumble has made some changes, and I should be able to take calls one of these days when I figure out how to do it. Ooh, Kanab, Utah, selling ceramics. That's so cool. I'll be at, if you guys are in the Spokane area, 1st of August, I'll be at, brain cramp, the Scottish festival. Hold on, I gotta look it up now. Scottish festival. Brain cramp. The Spokane Scottish Highland Games will be on August 1st at the Spokane Expo Center, Fair and Expo Center. It'll be awesome. And then the Spokane Renaissance Fair will be in October. I'll be there as well. I'll have space. And then for those of you who are in North Idaho, I don't know if you are more than welcome to join me in my reenactment adventures. Joining the Adrian Empire, which is fun. We do medieval period reenactment stuff, which is fun. I mean, why not? We dress in period clothes. We go camping medievally without all of the stuff. So, yeah. Hey, Bomb. Hey, wow. Lurkers and Bomb and, oh, my stars. So, yes. Words act like toddlers and hide on you. Yes, absolutely. They're just gone. Or cats. Or I've got a rabbit in the backyard that it keeps hiding on me. The dog keeps finding her, but never when I'm out there to help. Deep cleansing breath. So, anyways, if you're in the area, let me know. I'd love to connect or send me an email at wildpaisley@gmail.com. But other than that, thanks for joining me today. So, merry meet and merry part and merry meet again. And go on a side quest. I dare ya. I double dog dare ya.